What is going on, guys? We got in our Battlefield 5 Firestorm trailer today, March 14th, and alongside that we got the release date for Firestorm itself. So we know it will be coming out March 25th, which is on a Monday, so we're about a week and a half away, but we finally got in our anticipated trailer, which put together a lot of things we were seeing being teased for Battlefield 5's new Battle Royale mode. We of course see the teaser trailer we were shown yesterday as the first part of this new trailer, where the squads are jumping in out of the airplane, and then it takes a pretty humorous tone as the squad we see land that's trying to gather themselves start to look around, and they see another squad landing right behind them. So both squads go into two separate buildings that are right next to each other, and just like the classic Battle Royale experience, one squad ends up with all of the weapons, and you just see them firing at the other squad who's just posted up inside the house. And once they cease fire, you see the squad that doesn't have any weapons shoot out a flare gun, which ends up actually calling in what appears to be the sector artillery, something that we got to experience just recently in one of the new squad reinforcements coming out from last week. So that's what it appears like to be. So that's kind of like the first thing we've seen so far of the squad reinforcements coming out for the new Firestorm Battle Royale mode. So that is pretty interesting to see. I guess it's going to be just another item you can pick up off the ground, I guess. Again, it looks like it's the artillery strike that has just recently come out. So we do know squad reinforcements are going to be in Firestorm. I'm not really sure quite exactly how it's going to play out, but from the looks of the trailer right here, I guess it's just another item you can pick up off the ground, and you can just call it in from there. We then get to see the part that was teased for us before about the tractor, but this time we see the tractor hooked up to an artillery gun, so that is definitely pretty cool. But one thing I did find really interesting in this brief clip is we see the one player on the tractor driving off with his other squad mate on the back on the artillery weapon, but then we see his other two squad mates trying to catch up running on foot, with one of them appearing to be holding a gas canister. So it would make sense to see it in Firestorm. We've seen gas canisters having to be used in other Battle Royale modes if you want to keep driving your vehicle around, and I would imagine it would make sense to have that in this specific Firestorm Battle Royale mode, because if you're going to have like vehicles like tanks in there, you know, you may need to have things to bounce them off. So one way of doing that would be gas canisters. So that would make sense, and it does appear to be that right there. So I think it's the first time we've actually seen that. So I did kind of want to highlight that there, and I do think that's going to be pretty interesting if that is actually the case. It then cuts to another clip where we've seen teased before, where we got our bearded player here noticing something, but we all weren't sure exactly what he was looking at. But now we finally know he was actually looking at the helicopter. So then we see the players jump into the helicopter and start spotting enemies down below in a boat, which was the same boat that we saw in the introduction video that I kind of thought looked kind of funny. I didn't mention anything in the video, but it did look like a boat that would be some type of boat hybrid car type of thing here, and it turns out to be that exactly. So you actually see the boat being able to drive up onto the land, and you're actually able to drive it on the land itself. So that is definitely pretty cool. We then see a player posted up on a mountain, but now we see the weather dynamics in play here. So we see the map begin to shift into more snow covering the map. This again is how the weather is going to be like for at least this map that we have right now. So we see some parts that don't have snow and some parts that do. It seems about like 50-50, at least from a little bit of the mini map that we have seen kind of leaked out already. But from the looks of it, that's what it seems like the kind of environment that we're going to have here. So it then takes a shift, and we begin to see more of the snow environment as the trailer progresses on. Now, I do want to say I keep seeing these towers throughout the trailer. I'm not exactly sure what they could be used for, or if there's no real use for them at all, and they're just purely there for aesthetic purposes. So we'll have to wait and find out if there's more of a purpose to these towers, or if they're just for looks. I do also notice a lot of the type of body armor the players are wearing. You see some players wearing helmets and other players not, and I don't think that's for cosmetic purposes, as we did find out that there's going to be body armor, and it does appear like we're going to have things like body armor we can pick up and helmets we can pick up. So I imagine some of the players who are wearing helmets, those aren't for purely cosmetic purposes, that you're going to have to find those off on the ground. But then we finally get to what looks like the outside of the circle, and how that's going to play out if you find yourself out of the circle and you're falling a little bit behind. You don't end up dying instantly, which is good to know. It did appear like that huge wall of fire would incinerate you instantly and give you no chance to, survive anywhere outside the circle for more than a second. But from the little bit of this clip that we have here of one player trying to catch up to his teammate and coming out with his legs still on fire and basically sniping an enemy player and getting the winning kill, it does appear like you're going to survive that. Now we'll have to see how strong the fire is, because he does appear to be on fire still a little bit, and man, if it's anything like when you post up next to a burning vehicle in Battlefield 5 and you're just instantly melting, that might not be all too great. So we'll have to see exactly how intense the fire is going to be, because man, it feels like it's pretty intense sometimes just in the base multiplayer version of Battlefield 5. So again, at least we know we can somewhat survive, but we'll see just how well we can do if we fall a little bit behind of the circle. We then come up to the last scene where we see a squad opening up a bunker with some energy that's flickering down in the bunker below, giving us a little bit of light to see what's down there, which ends up being a tank. So from the introduction to Firestorm video, we learned there will be objectives we'll have to complete to get these type of vehicles. How difficult these objectives are going to be, or how powerful the tanks are going to be, is yet to be known. But that was probably the most interesting part of the whole trailer from my perspective. Again, we heard a lot about this from the leaked information of the Firestorm introduction, which I imagine, wasn't probably planned, as we're seeing basically same stuff we saw in their introduction video, and actually probably a little bit less, as the introduction video probably gave us a lot more than the trailer itself. So because of that, I think we're a little bit ahead of probably what EA DICE wanted to deliver out. But overall, just for the trailer experience, I think it was actually not all too bad. Pretty cool stuff. I think it was pretty humorous at the very start how they battled it out, and gave us what it feels like another pretty cinematic trailer that gives us enough good stuff to talk about and kind of speculate of what exactly Firestorm is going to be like. But I'll probably keep continuously looking at this trailer for the next couple of days, seeing if there's any little bit of stuff here and there that we might have overlooked. But if you guys have seen something that I haven't seen, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin', and I'll catch you guys again later.